So now the next example is another frequency distribution, but now they're giving you classes instead of just individual values in your frequency distribution. So the trick to this one is we can't really do a lot of the multiplications and things like that that we did in the previous problem because we don't have a specific number that we're working with. So here's where we're going to have to do a little improvisation. Let's see if I can get that word out. So in this case, instead of trying to use a range, we're going to find an approximation for that range. And that approximation is going to be the midpoint. So those will be our x's. So our frequencies are still our f's. And so now we can fill in the rest of our table. So if we want to find the mean, we need our x times f column. Then we're going to start to find the standard deviation with the last three columns. So we need our x minus x bar. We need our x minus x bar squared, and then we need our x minus x bar squared times the frequency. So now we should be able to fill in our table. So the first thing is our midpoint. So the midpoint is essentially just the average of the two ends. So if we average the two ends, we're going to see that we get a total of 50 when we add those together. So if we divide by 2, we should get 25. And if we look at the pattern, remember from before, if we look at the class width, we can see how far or how much it changes from one row to the next. So if we look and see that we're adding 5 here, and we're adding 5 and adding 5 and adding 5, we can do the same thing with the midpoints. So that's going to give all of our midpoints in a nice, quick, orderly fashion. So now we have all of our midpoints. So now again, these aren't the values, exactly from these intervals. They are approximations. So these are our best guesses at what those 41 numbers in this category are. We don't know exactly what those 41 numbers are, but we're going to approximate all 41 of them as being around 30. Same thing, we got 79 numbers in this category, so we're going to approximate that they're all right around 35. Now again, it's not perfect, but it's going to be the best that we can do based on the information we have. So now we got to start filling in our table. So we still got to find the mean first. So we got to fill in this x times f column. So if we multiply across, I'm going to do some of the easy ones. But I'm going to be lazy with the rest. So I'll actually, I can do this one too. 1,230. Okay, so let's do 79 times 35, 2765, 40 times 28, 1120, 45 times 15, 675. Okay, so there's those first couple of columns. So again, number one, we need our mean, which is our x bar, which is something divided by something. So remember what I said in the previous video, any column that has an f in it, we want to add up. So we'll add up, let's start with the frequencies. So 2 plus 41 plus 79 plus 28 plus 15 plus 6. So 171, and then 50 plus 1230 plus 2765 plus 1120 plus 675 plus 300 equals 6140. So now if we divide 6140 by 171, 35.906. Again, remember, we don't want a ton of decimal places, otherwise it's going to get a crazy amount in your table. So let's just go 1. 35.9. Okay. So there's step 1. Step 2, remember, is to subtract. So we're going to subtract in all of those. We want to take the value minus the mean. So 25 minus that. Negative 10.9. Oops, not 10.5. Okay, and now allow these to change by 5, so we can just keep adding 5 to these. So negative 5.9, negative 0.9. Add 5 to that, it's going to give you 4.1, and then 9.1, and then 14.1. And if you don't trust, doing it in your head, just check a couple of them just to make sure. So 50 plus, or excuse me, minus 35.9 equals 14.1. So we're good. So that was step 2. So step 3 is to square them all. Well, I already have that one in, so I'm going to square it right now. So 198.81. Oops. 82.81. 16.81. 0.81. A lot of 81s in here. Okay. Again, a lot of just tedious work with the calculator, but we're going to get to the end here soon enough. So remember, this is essentially like 3B in the process. So we're going to multiply all of those times the frequency. Again, where students make the most mistakes is they grab the wrong columns. So make sure you grab the right columns when you're doing these problems. So this one times this one. So 118.81 times 2 is 237.62. 34.81 times 41. 1427.21. 0.81 times 79. 63.99. 16.81 times 28. 82.81 times 15. And then 198.81 times 6. Okay, whew. So we got our table all filled in. So we finished up step 3. So step 4, remember, is to add all of that up. That last column. So if we add that last column, 237.62, 1427.21, 63.99, 470.68, 1242.15, 1192.86. So 4,634.51. Okay, so there's step 4. Step 5, remember, is to divide. So we want our sum from step 4 and divide by n minus 1. So 4634.51 divided by, remember, this is n. n is the sum of the frequencies. So we're going to just divide by 170. So if we divide by 170, 27.2618, and so on. And then the last step is to square root that. So we can just go blink. 5.22 if we round it. So again, our data, we're not sure, but it looks like it could have decimal points in it. Probably will have decimal points in it. So minimally, we should have one extra than that. So going 2 decimal places on this problem is probably a really good idea, because you want to have that extra accuracy when you're talking means and standard deviations. So that wraps up that problem. So we got new stuff on the next pages that are kind of related to this. So we'll see how we can apply the standard deviation to other situations. Stay tuned.